A big championship match is set for Clash at the Castle. NXT stars made their main roster debut on SmackDown, and we have a backstage reaction to NXT UK shutting down. Stay tuned for the news. So we will kick things off looking at some fallout off SmackDown. Now, it was announced prior to the show that there would be a number one contenders match for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. It's a shame you're not wearing your Gunther top today. It's a staple of the Saturday morning
news.
It's in the wash. Because you wear it too much. You're such a big fan. But yeah, number one contenders match took place last night featuring Sheamus, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Madcap Moss, and Happy Corbin. The match saw Sami Zayn get taken to the back with an injured shoulder, and then he came back. He was doing his whole, the fighting
valiantly
spirit,
fighting back,
which is it's rare to see a heel do.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite interesting.
I think Sammy sort of transcends that boundary, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That way he can just sort of use any trope.
And now I've said it, thinking about it, it was in Canada.
Yeah.
It was in Montreal last night. But Sheamus picked up the victory. He pinned Happy Corbin after a very stiff looking brogue kick. Now, it looked very tight on his chin. It looked lovely, lovely stiff. And it gave us kind of a tease off the match at Clash at the Castle because it's going to be brutal. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Gunther versus Sheamus.
I was wondering what we were going to give Sheamus, because Sheamus, obviously, like, I'm expecting, quite a lot of featured talent from this neck of the woods.
Yeah.
And, Sheamus is somebody who I was never really a big Sheamus guy initially, but the more that I've sort of followed him in wrestling, the more I just want to see him in hard hitting matches. And who else but Gunther? This is. Come on.
I mean, we saw how brutal his matches with Drew were last year, especially I think we had a falls count anywhere match. We had the Irish Donnybrook match a few weeks ago, and that gave us a taste of that. But this is going to be
off the chain.
So they're going to
off the chain.
Now we know Sheamus is a very white man.
Yes,
his chest will be pink.
Oh yeah,
at the end of that.
He's going to look like when you go to the paint shop and you get the kind of Dulux little range. His chest's going to be like a pink one of those.
Yeah, and it's
holding the little card up, going, "You're a lovely shade of like cherry pink."
We've been the Intercontinental title has been sort of being boosted up recently as well. We had that incredible match with Nakamura just last Friday, and he's going to have another match with Sheamus match coming up soon. The prestige of that belt is increasing.
It needs to, and I think Gunther's the perfect person for it. He's a machine, he's a wall, he's unstoppable, and I want him to hold it for a long time. Just like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, give him that long reign. But I think we both feel like Gunther's going to go over Sheamus in this match. But moving over to the AEW side of things, we've got a little bit of details about how the new backstage changes came about. This comes from Tony Schiavone when he was speaking on the AEW Unrestricted podcast. Now, Sam, what does he say on that podcast?
So he said, "My role is now senior producer and special advisor and talent relations. I love that special advisor role. It's like, would you go advise him on something? I do a lot of running during the day, trying to talk to talent. Basically, what I do is walk around during the day, ask people how they're doing, and ask them if they're happy, if there's anything we can do to make it better. And that's very, very important. I think we're really making good strides. I really do. But I can tell you this, it's a slow process. I really think that of all the things I do for this company, talent relations is the most important." But he went on to reveal sort of how it all happened.
Yeah, because this new role, there's been a few people put into those positions. So he went on to say that he and I talked, meaning Tony Khan, at the party, and we talked flying back. And I said, "Listen, I know your EVPs and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they wrestle and they have a final say on a lot of things. But I said, I'd like to work closely with them and help out in any way I can." He was very receptive to it. Then he brought us all in at the Universal Studios during a taping, and he says, "Guys, I really need your help. This company is going gangbusters, but I feel that I can use you in these ways." And we said, "Sure." And the announcement was made. It's great to see Tony Schiavone getting some more sort of backstage work in AEW. He's just a lovely man.
Yeah, he's somebody who I'm so happy he came back to wrestling, because for the longest time I remember always being like, what happened to Tony Schiavone? And he went into baseball announcing for a while. He got so bored, I believe, at one point that he just went and trained to be a barista for something to do.
Yeah, he worked. Yeah, he did. And he worked in a coffee shop.
Yeah, and like he he's such a talent that it's great to see him back. But it's a very important role, as he's saying. You need need that kind of those people floating around, you know, that are kind of getting a feel for morale, getting a feel for the environment, how things are, if there's anything that can be done. Like it's necessary, because without that, it just kind of rots and it starts to slowly degrade. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, what's going on backstage? It's a mess. Everybody's at each other's throats. But if you can have people there,
if he's the support system, and he's going to have a busy week, because we saw the stuff, the drama that was after Dynamite with CM Punk and Hangman Page.
Just a little bit.
It looks like the whole place is split, and we reported that on that previously. But yeah, he's going to have a very busy week going around going, are you happy? Are you? Please tell me you're happy. Yeah,
following him, everyone following.
But yeah, really great to see him getting some success in that role. This is my first experience of Tony Schiavone. I missed all of WCW.
You should definitely go back and do a bit of a whistle stop through some of the bigger WCW moments.
I get to hear yourself and Tom on the classic Nitro review doing we're out of time, all that sort of stuff. But we're looking now at NXT stars who made their SmackDown debuts. Last night, there was meant to be a tournament match for the women's tag team titles between it was Zoe Starks and Nikita Lyons making their debuts. That didn't happen. Who made their debuts instead, Sam?
Well, instead of them, and the reason that they didn't make their debuts were that they, kayfabe, weren't medically cleared.
Yeah, Zoe Starks was medically not cleared, and Nikita Lyons was medically unavailable.
Yeah, it had something to do apparently with vaccination status and a bunch of stuff. But instead, we got just a little bit of just toxic attraction.
I mean, what a replacement.
Yeah.
So Gigi Dolan and JC Jane made their SmackDown's debuts as part of the tournament, and they beat the team of Natalya and Sonya Deville. Natalya looked like she had the match won. She had Dolan in a sharpshooter, the signature Natalya move, but she didn't realize that JC Jane had tagged in. Who rolled her up for a pin.
And throughout the entire ordeal, we had Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai just giving it just behind commentary in the front row with their ticket. It was so good.
The women's division has really seen a push in the last sort of weeks. I think most people can agree that for the past year, it's kind of not been as strong as it once was. Yeah. And I feel like we're slowly getting back to that area. The amount of talent, even in this segment alone, was insane.
I'm really hoping that this is going to, move forward slowly. I don't know if Toxic Attraction are maybe ready for a full call up yet, because they were kind of presented with their NXT branding and everything, which could have been last minute stuff. But at the same time, it does not surprise me that they'd be on the main roster. Like, they should be up there.
I would love to see
Rose as well should be there. Like, it should just be, we're going to see a lot of changes soon.
That's the thing. It would add another 3-person dynamic. Like we've got the new team of Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai.
And then we can have some real gang warfare.
Yeah, absolutely. Toxic
It's
Attraction.
all about stables, man.
They are one of the best features of NXT 2.0. But we're going to stay on this sort of topic of NXT because we have a backstage reaction to NXT UK shutting down. As reported by PW Insider, the backstage reaction in WWE to NXT UK shutting down, with plans to relaunch as NXT Europe next year, was that of taking a step back to take a step forward. It was stated by one source to PW Insider that they were shutting down the brand in order to assess and strategize the best way to launch the NXT Europe brand next year, and to be able to launch with all their staff centered in Europe with the idea of becoming a touring brand across the region.
I think it's the smartest thing. It's a shame to lose NXT UK, but the thing is, if we have an NXT Europe, it means more fans are able to see it. If it's going to be touring from country to country, we're going to have a wider pool of talent. Yep. We're going to have a focus on maybe some regions and styles of wrestling that we never really get to see, or we never get to see much from. And it's also going to be, establishing WWE in those markets. So we'll see more people going, hey, I can actually go and train to work for WWE if I get good enough. So it'll push a lot more people into the industry.
Absolutely. I mean, the amount, as you said, the amount of talent that they could then open the doors to is insane. And speaking of like opening that door, it was reported that the door is open to all the talents that were, or some of the talents that were released to be brought back down the line. They notably released about 24, I believe is the number. You can go and hear all about that in yesterday's news video. But they said that they would be open, the door is open for them to return somewhere down the line, but it didn't make sense to keep them on the company payroll while the long hiatus is ahead of them.
I get it. It kind of feels like the Ring of Honor situation where, as you said, step back, step forward. It needs to just kind of stop for now. But, it's not a goodbye. It's just a pause. It's like a little breath while they get set up elsewhere. And then hopefully it's going to roll right over and we'll see a lot of those talents return.
There's a lot of them, I think, had a lot of potential that just NXT UK, unfortunately, didn't have as many eyes on it that it should have. So a lot of those talents will go out, learn some more on the independents and get that name value back, that when they return to WWE, it might be a big deal.
Well, there's the whole thing as well that the talents apparently have a 30 to 45 day window, and I do believe we're going to see a fair few companies trying to swoop in and grab some of those names.
There's a few of them there. But as you said, well, the report also said that while nothing official has been, there has been a lot of talk with the company to bring back wrestlers and stuff who are part of Triple H's circle back in black and gold
which
era
makes
NXT.
sense. I don't think he's going to be able to get Regal back, but
I don't think he will.
But
it was described as a hiring spree, which is it's exciting, but there's a lot of talents. It's like they're locked down. There's no chance of coming back, like Regal.
It does lend credence to the fact that global localization might not be as done as we thought it was.
That was a big pre-pandemic aspect of WWE, but that is all we have just now. We will be back this afternoon with another news video. Thank you for joining me on this one, Sam.
No bummer.
We will see you later.
Bye.